Hello everyone, welcome back to the TJOmega channel for day 1791 of our daily content grind. So today we are doing part 2 of my Metrocon videos, my Metro stories, and that's mostly revolving around what all I got. So this is basically a whole vacation roundup because we did some time in Orlando and then we did some time in Tampa, and I was away out of town for a little over a week. So yeah, I did a little bit of shopping because I went up to some of my favorite shops in Orlando, hit one before we went into Metro, and found a few others before we got to the actual Tampa Convention Center you see in the photo in front of you. I take a photo of it every year from the hotel room. With this one was a weird perspective. It's not a hotel we've stayed at before. Still fun to get though. I like I like seeing it every single year. I don't know. I just like having it. It's a tradition at this point. But I thought let's show off all of the gets, and we'll start with the stuff that was technically not part of the vacation because it was so it was stuff before and after technically, but still in vacation time, so I'm lumping it in. So that starts with a Walmart run that me and my girlfriend made before we actually got to the Orlando hotel, and that included this guy. Breakaway here was $7, and they had an entire shelf of them. And you know what? For $7, yeah, I'm curious how they managed to engineer like a deluxe size transformer into a ball. I guess with the World Cup over, no one really cares about World Cup merch anymore, so please get rid of it. Please take it away. But no, it's for $7. Like if your Walmart still has these on clearance, it's an amusing figure. It transforms in a fun way, so there you go. And if you're a customizer and you're just screaming like mini Unicron or mini Primus, go for it. Neat little figure though. Cheap little pickup. So this one came before I actually got home, had to do a few errand runs and thought, let me stop in a couple places just in case I get lucky. And walked out with this. So when I was in Orlando, I started hearing about people finding the G2 Dinobot set at Ross for half its retail price. And I'm just saying, like, I would jump on that on a heartbeat if I managed to find it. But I'm out of town. I'm not going to get a chance to pop into a Ross. We've got so much that we want to do. So unfortunately, I didn't get the chance during the trip. On the way home, before I left Tampa, I got to stop at one. Didn't have anything. Thought that would be my best bet. Just drove home, whatever. Okay, need some errands to do, need some provisions to get by for the week since I obviously didn't get to go shopping beforehand. So let's just pop over to my local Ross, see if just out of curiosity. Oh my God, they actually have it. My Ross didn't get in the cool masterpiece ones that ended up there. My Ross didn't get in any of the really, really cool Transformers that ended up there. I didn't get like the black Trypticon for $100. But this is the first time I actually got like the cool thing to get when it was actually cool to find. So yeah, a little bit of luck afterwards. Okay, so that's just tangential stuff that's only kind of connected to the vacation haul because it was within the time frame. Proper vacation stuff started with some toy shops in Orlando. So these came from Echo Base. Echo Base is mostly a comic book shop, but it does have a collectibles section, and they do keep Blockies. So the Blockies Unicron head has been on my radar. I've been wanting to grab that. And then the Quintesson. I grabbed one of the boxes and noticed that it was bulging a little bit, more so than like a standard set of Blockies parts would actually bulge. So I took a bet that something bulbous and round was in there, and wouldn't you know it. So as someone who would really like to have a set of Quints in sets of 4, I would really like to come across 3 more of those, please. This is actually kind of cool. Not only does the base light up, like that little energy base, not only does that light up, but also they've engineered it so it has like a opening mouth gimmick. You press down the top of the head, all the mouths open up. It's really neat. So yeah, little gets there. That shop does, like I said, the shop doesn't have a whole lot as far as like collectibles that are up my alley, but it's fun to poke my head in and see what they got. I was actually after, strangely enough, comic books for once. So I didn't just stop in there for, toys. Across several different little comic book shops. A couple I can't remember offhand. I did end up stumbling into 3 issues of the Mega Man X comic book that I needed. Love to support the book because my friend Daniel is the one writing it, and it's incredibly cool. Ironically enough, I said it in the Metrocon video, but I'll say it here for anyone who didn't watch that one. One of the cover artists was actually at the dealer room at Metrocon, and he wanted $50 per print for his cover art. And you know what? For professional level prints from a genuine professional artist, okay, 50 makes sense. But when I'm trying to budget and I would really like to support the starving artists more than the ones getting paid by big comic book companies, I'm going to favor the independent artists who are just there in the artist alley, just trying to make a little bit of spending cash. Okay, so I did get the books, which are neat. I love the fact that we have Mega Man books again. Okay, so the one in Tampa, the shop I ended up in Tampa, was Big Redhead. That's where I got my G1 Overlord. And I could have spent a lot more there, but again, I'm trying to be a little bit budget conscious. When we get to the next store I went to, that will go out the window. But all I grabbed at that store was a G2, or is a G2, a TM2 Dinobot. I had one when it first came out, but man, like this more than a lot of Beast Wars toys is really reliant on those ball joints staying stiff. So when those just die, you are out a toy. And I really, really liked this figure. I liked the design. And it's an on-screen character I did not have in my vintage collection. So he joins. Considering he was a loose figure, I was actually shocked that his joints were so good. And like, I always thought the one I had as a kid just wore down over time. Now I'm genuinely wondering if it was like a quality control thing, like how loose those joints got, because the ones on this one feel great. Also found this guy. So this is like a Sitting Cuties Scyther, and I already have one. There is one sitting in the collection down there, but I was kind of like, this was the first get at Acme Superstore, which is in Longwood, just north of Orlando. That's my favorite toy shop. I will, anytime I'm around Orlando, I will make the excursion north just to go to this shop. It's that good. And I was like joking when I went through the toy section of like, I'm the only Scythers that I could find toy wise are incredibly rare. There's no chance of me finding any Scyther here. And then sure enough, I found a Scyther. I don't like it's like, if you've seen my collection, you know I do not mind multiple Scythers. I like my swarm. This one kind of became like a little riding buddy for the con. I actually figured out, because I keep a con pouch on like off my hip on my belt. That's just for like spare battery, keeps the bag for like if it's raining outside and I need to take the camera back to the hotel, that kind of thing. Quick little necessity stuff ready to go right there in the pouch. I don't need to carry a big backpack or anything. So I figured out how to just have him riding in the top of the pouch. So he was just like traveling with me for the day. I only did it for one day because I was starting to worry about like hanging out of the pocket. He's up against the zipper, and I was starting to worry about like that rubbing up against his stitching in his midsection. So we stopped that. So now it's just a spare little Scyther who's probably going to go to work with me and just sit on my desk at work. So more stuff from Acme. I found this third-party Ultra Magnus. This is about deluxe size, and I don't know who made it. Someone who knows third-party Transformers better than I could probably tell you who made it. I don't care. I just like that it's a deluxe-sized Magnus, because that's a fun scale to have that design in. It's one of those figures where, like, I love the design, but I would really like it in a small, compact version for once, rather than like the super big boys that we always get for characters like this. So it was a nice little pickup. Um, he split in half when I tried to transform him the first time. Um, I had to take him. I had to unscrew him to repair him from that. But he's been a fun figure so far. He's been a fun figure. I like him. I like him. Um, Last time I was there, they had an entire like shelf full of Kamen Rider figure arts. Someone sold them, and it was mostly still there when I got there. So I told myself, okay, if there's someone that's in the affordable range, let me grab it because I skipped it last time. That ended up being Baron. I think it's because uh, Kaito is one of the only times I've ever cosplayed in my life. So to actually be able to do that and have and be able to walk out with a Baron, I think because I was in a Metrocon mindset, that probably what came to mind. Also, he was the cheapest one. There was also a character I really like. So I have Banana Man. I have Banana Man now. Ironically, I don't have Figure Arts Gaim. I just have Banana Man. The big get from there, and this is like childhood nostalgia hitting me in the head. I had a G1 Rodimus as a kid. It did not have the cannon in the trailer, did not have his rifle. Stickers were messed up. I believe eventually I lost the fin as well. This one is 100% complete. This is the most complete I've ever owned a hot rod. But no, or a Rodimus Prime rather. And like, I don't care if it's a pretty lame toy, even by G1 standards. I still like the toy. I still like having like the vintage one here in the collection. His stickers are very aged. The ones that go on his knees fell off. I still have them. They're here on my desk, and I need to find the appropriate glue for reattaching them. I usually use a glue stick, but it's not working on these. So yeah, that was the big get. That was the big get outside of Metrocon. I will be honest, Metrocon, I didn't go like overly crazy with anything in the dealer room because a lot of it did not appeal to me. There's a few things I was after. I was after the pop-up parade of Pomni from Digital Circus, didn't see that. I wanted pop-up parade or something Panty and Stocking. The only things I found were figurines of them like sitting on the new Panty and Stocking logo, things that would work individually, but I wanted both sisters, and the only ones they had were the angel forms. I wouldn't want the angel forms. I want the little animated forms, and I couldn't find those. I couldn't find anything that really like scratched that itch, unfortunately. There's a few other things I would have taken. There's a ton of free run stuff, but like if I look up here, I do have a bunch of free runs on my table right now. I don't feel a need for anything else free run at the moment. And obviously, like my pet favorites, there was no Slayers. There was a Mega Man EXE that was like decently sized and actually cheaply priced. Like it was only like, is that figure like that big? It was only like $25, I think, because the dealer had a ton of them. But I'm not big on EXE. I like Battle Network, but I'm not huge on it. And I don't know why. For as cheap as it was, I just never went back to get it. Now that I think about it, that was like really weird. Why didn't I go back and grab one? Like that would have been a completely affordable pickup. I don't know what I was thinking. But what I did was like a lot of small stuff. I did a lot of little things for the Metrocon dealer room this time. Now it does start with a few gifts. So I got to meet Mari and Kronos from my Magnetar streams, and they are amazing people. They're very nice to talk to and hang out with. It's great to make friends of them. Mari gifted me this Mega Man book. This was a Kickstarter thing that is basically an entire strategy guide for the original Mega Man game, but everything has been completely redrawn by hand, including all screenshots, which means it is loaded, absolutely loaded with artwork. It's an incredibly cool idea for a project, and just exceptionally well like produced and executed. Really, really like that. And also, Mega Man 1 is like one of the hardest in the franchise. Everyone like screams about how difficult Mega Man 2 is. Number 1 is harder. So it's actually kind of nice to have a strategy guide for it. I might actually read through it and see if it genuinely gets me through that game any easier. Mari also found this in the dealer room. Yeah, I somehow completely missed the little like Scyther Scizor little it's not a postcard, I guess it's a mini print. The same booth I eventually found it also had these pieces of art as like a linked charm. So it's a Scyther with a Scizor hanging underneath it. And the only reason I didn't grab it is because I did not want to I didn't want the Scizor. I would have felt bad if I like disconnected the Scizor and just used the Scyther charm. And that feels like it would like destroy the spirit. Like I feel like I'm ruining like the artist's creation by doing that. So I didn't do it. I didn't buy that. Probably should have anyway, because Scyther stuff is hard to come by at Metro Dealer Room. But this year was surprising, to say the least. And then Kronos also made me my own capsum from Zets, which that was a surprise. It reads Nightmare in the drivers. I need to grab my Zets driver and try it out. I don't have a Nox driver, ironically, so this is the Nox version of the capsums. So I can't properly use it, but it will still fit the belt I have. It'll still make a noise. I might see if I can like, I don't know, put some kind of like spin on the Magnetar logo and just like print it out and put it in the middle. I don't know. But thank you, Mari. Thank you, Kronos. It was great getting to meet both of you. Okay. So actual con gets now. I'm going to start with the autographs I got, which were from Lizzie Freeman and Alex Rochon, the voices of Pomni and Kane from Digital Circus. Absolutely amazing to get to meet both. Lizzie was the talker. Lizzie is like a Scott McNeil type where she just likes to talk to everyone who comes up to her. So she was fun. She was a lot of fun. Yeah, and I wanted to get the two. I had two vinyls that I wanted to get them to sign instead, because I usually prefer getting toys signed rather than prints. I kind of forgot them. I forgot to pack them. I forgot to pack a lot of things on this trip. I'm gonna be completely honest. But no, it was cool to meet him. It was very cool to meet him. I really liked getting the autographs too. So I'll show you a couple prints that I got. One of them. So I will fully admit I'm terrible at like remembering to like grab business cards or note down what artists I got everything from. So I'm sorry to if any artists that I bought from happen to be watching. I deeply apologize that I have completely failed to promote you, but I was happy to support you when I found your booth. So this was from a girl who not only did Tron Bonne here, which is great to see some Mega Man Legends of all things, but also that Slayer sticker of Lena. That's actually a pretty big sticker. I don't know what I'm gonna do with it just yet, but anytime an artist brings Mega Man and Slayers to the table, I'm gonna support. I'm gonna buy it. I just am. Especially when it's some of my more obscure favorites, And if it's anything Slayers, no, I'm not even checking my bank account before I buy it. Like I don't like I will deal with whatever it costs later. But no, those were great to find. Also found a booth that was doing Kamen Rider prints, which was also very, very surprising. They also had print of Fies, which Kronos got. He was excited to find out that was a thing. And also there was another print for Build. But Double I'm a little bit more attached to because it's one of the earlier shows that I watched. There was another, everyone kept telling me they saw a print for Kiva on someone's booth, and I never found the Kiva print. I have no idea what it looked like. I don't know who had it. Nothing. Not a clue. The same, I want to say it was the same artist, but now I can't even remember. Again, I'm terrible at remembering these things. But suffice to say, I found a decade keychain. So that was a random surprise. It would have gone on my con bag, except there's already a decade pin on the con bag, so he's already represented. I was representing decade a little bit more at Metrocon. You'll see why and how in just a little bit. But as far as we're going with charms, there were two that I did grab, which were Gangle and Zooble. And this one, thankfully, they actually label their work. So Dracudes over on Twitter and Instagram. I've bought from them before because they also do Mega Man art. And they've done the entire Digital Circus cast. They've done a ton of characters. Their art is really, really good. And yeah, I'm always happy to buy from them whenever I see them at Metrocon. This is definitely going on to the con bag. Now the con bag is also called my gay bag. And it is gained that name because the charms that end up on it tend to be LGBT supporting. So Catra and Adora are on there. Cyclonus and Tailgate are on there. Flick from Animal Crossing is on there. Luz and Amity from Owl House are on there. So it's technically a lot of gay couples or characters that the fandom like thinks are gay. They end up on there, and it was not even like an intended thing, because Gowry and Lena are also on there. Kid Cat from Animal Crossing is on there. Decade is on there. It wasn't meant to be a theme. It's just I don't know, the ships I really like tend to be that way. So they all ended up on the bag, and the bag clatters horribly when I walk around. I don't care. It's my way of having fun. So yeah, Gangle and Zooble. That gets added in as another queer couple to go onto the bag. But no, I love these two, and I love the artwork they did for them. I'm happy to find anything Zooble, because it feels like merch-wise, Zooble gets neglected way too often. Now, this was cool. This was fun. So I told you that it was surprising to find some Scyther stuff in the dealer room. I found this. So the artist I believe resin prints the little figurine inside, hand paints them, and then casts them in this like smoky effect resin to create like different visuals and things. So every one of them is unique. It's really neat. And I see this kind of thing a lot. Like I think most artist alleys you're gonna find these days, you will see like little terrariums people have made, like Pokeballs with glass tops, or like bottles or something that just have like a little tiny diorama of a Pokemon in its natural habitat. But I see those for starters. I see those for evolutions. I see those for popular legendaries. I never see it for Scyther. So I was thrilled that someone finally had something Scyther in that style. Oh man, it makes me so happy. But like I said, like it's weird that Scyther really was coming up a lot. If you didn't watch the Metrocon recap video, someone was cosplaying a Scyther. It was a costume made out of yarn, but it counts. It's a Scyther cosplay. There was also a seller there who had resin cast Scyther or skulls, and they had a few skulls. Like some of the fossil Pokemon, some like the legendaries, the ones that make sense, but Scyther just happened to be one they also chose to do. If you like your oddities, along with your Pokemon, it's a little morbid for me. I don't want a skull of my favorite Pokemon in the collection, but it is cool. Like I had a surprising amount of Scyther stuff to choose from on this trip. I was actually shocked. Now, stop by the Kaiju Big Battle booth, and I have to get something from Kaiju every year. Have to support my favorite monster wrestling show, as if there are any others out there. At this point, it's like, what merch haven't I bought? Well, they had a new Sky Deviler shirt, so I had to grab that. I really like, so weirdly enough, considering it's pro wrestling with giant monster suits, you wouldn't think it, but there are storylines, and I really like the Sky Deviler storyline. Quick Reader's Digest version. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go into my wrestling tangent just for a second. Sky Deviler was an evil monster in the early days of Kaiju Big Battle who died, And Dr. Cube, the big villain of Kaiju Big Battle, steals its one egg and at a big show puts it in an incubator and hatches it into a baby Sky Deviler, a Sky Deviler Jr. And that infant was taken by a rogue monster named Kung Fu Chicken Noodles, literally a guy wearing a giant chicken noodle can. He takes the baby, and this is like his, in wrestling terms, this is his face turn. He goes from just kind of like a neutral kind of monster to more of a good guy, because now he's raising this kid, and he's raising this junior Sky Deviler to be, better than the predecessor. And we only get glimpses of it once in a while. Like there's like a little Sky Deviler that showed up for like a little like a junior kaiju presentation. But now, in more recent years, Sky Deviler is back. Junior is fully grown. And now, a good guy. And I love that. I love this. The weirdest way of doing a face turn for a pro wrestler, but you can only get away with it in Kaiju Big Battle. I love it. I love the story to it. So yeah, Sky Deviler. I got the Sky Deviler toy over there too. I have my favorites. Let's put it that way. Okay, I'm going to show you a bunch of Kamen Rider merch now. Again, these are all little things. There was only one booth that had any kind of like belts or drivers of any kind. It's all stuff I already had or had no interest in. And all the model kits I saw, there was a few booths that had model kits for Kamen Rider. Again, had it all. There was one booth that actually had the Blockies Kamen Rider, something that I always wish I could get my hands on without like breaking the bank or having to import. Except the set they had almost nobody I wanted. They had Kabuto and Amazon, and I would have accepted either, but then it was just a sea of characters and designs I really didn't care about. I just didn't. So that was unfortunate. So I had to skip out on those two. Here's a blind box that I did want. Check these out. Okay, so I've been seeing these on TikTok so much. And these are really fun. So, I wanted the Agito out of this. So when I purchased it, I bought 3. I got Gav, Black. I don't like Gav. I know. Quiet. I believe I want to say Build and Kabuto. So 2 I really like, and then 1 like meh. And then I thought to myself, okay, let me go back, and if nobody's picked that box anymore, then that Agito is still in there. And when I go back the next day, yeah, it's still the same. It's still the same box, only 3 taken away. So I grabbed 2 more, and I just tell the guy, like, if Agito's not in here, I'll probably just end up buying more. It was O's and Double. Really good pair to get, not the ones I'm after. Well, I'm after all of them, but But it became one of those things of, well, I'd already bought half the box at this point, and I'm the only one who knows what it is here. He admitted, like, almost nobody knows this stuff. So he cut me a deal if I wanted to just get the whole box. So I ended up getting the whole box. I've got all 10 of these now. What these are, these little, like, bumper car looking Kamen Rider figurines. They do a lot, actually. So they work as fidget toys because they're on keyboard buttons. So you can like press them down. And when you do, their eyes light up. They also come with a keychain attachment because there's a little hook hole in the back. And you can attach the keychain there to wear it around on a bag or something, or as an actual keychain. Or you can also link all the little cars together, and you can like drag them around on your desk as like a full train. Or these things do a ton. I love how much they figured out to do with one design. You can actually remove the rider from the bumper car and use them as keycaps. And that's what I wanted to do with them. But now I kind of feel weird about it. Like, because they do so much. Like, I kind of feel like I'm denying them their purpose and ignoring like half the toy if I just use them as keycaps. I haven't decided yet. My keyboard needs cleaning desperately. Once it does, I'm probably going to like pop off half the F keys and replace them with Kamen Riders. So, like I said, I've been seeing those on my TikTok feed for months. Been eager to get my hands on some of them. Thrilled that I managed to find them there. Now, someone had gashapon machines. There are actually two booths. There's one that made itself very clear that all it was there for was as gashapon, and they had big gashapon toys. But the booth that had a little bit of Kamen Rider DX and like belt stuff, that's the booth that also had some smaller gashapons, and that's where I found Kamen Rider ones. So I got Deno and Kabuto as these little sitting figurines. I was after the O's in this set, did not get it. The way he sold tokens was like a bundle deal got you 11. And that meant that I had 2 left over. A lot of these that I grabbed were like 3 tokens. So I always had 2 left over. And the only 2 were these little Kamen Rider rings. I got 2 Zeronos rings. They're way too small for my fingers. They're designed for kids. So I don't know what to do with these. I don't know what to do with these in the least. There was one that was a bunch of like Kamen Rider cats. And I got the O's on my first attempt and went, I'm done. These are super cute. They're flocked and they're all the same way where like they have like a little like hood with the Kamen Rider mask on and they're wearing the belts. It's super cute. Super cute. So I got the one I wanted right off the bat. And then we had the nice one again, one that I had seen, and I was happy to be able to get a chance to get it. These little belts. So what these are is you have a wrist, they come with a wrist strap that you're supposed to wear like a watch. So you can have like your Kamen Rider represented as if you were wearing a watch. But again, that strap is made for kids. However, they thought of this. Again, like I love how multifunctional a lot of this Bandai Rider Kitsch stuff is. You can take off that piece and underneath is a clip to either pin it to like clip it to a belt or a front pocket or something. So I clipped these to like, so at some point in the con, I went from the bag on my hip to just wearing like my my theme park bag, which is like which is like my over the shoulder bag. Little back, like one of those little like mini backpack things. And I wore the Deca driver there. I got the Gotchard driver on the first pull, got the Deca driver on my second pull. That's the one I wanted. And they're kind of neat. They don't do a whole lot, but when you like flick a switch, they do have like an LED that rotates colors. So it's kind of neat. It lights up, you know. But no, like, so now I have a little Deca driver to wear on my con bag, which is nice. Since I got the cat, I went for 2 rounds of 11 tokens. So that's hence why everything it was in 2s. But since I got the O's cat right away, I didn't feel like pulling for another one. So I pulled for a dinosaur instead because they had an Ankylosaurus in the assortment. Got this one instead. I want to say Carnotaurus. I'm not great at spotting dinosaurs, despite having a ton of friends now who are enthusiasts. But it's nice. It's a little bit of articulation to it. I like that they come with like little diorama stands. Those are neat. It's a nice little figure. It's like surprisingly nice for something that came out of a capsule machine. And now, so as I said in my con video, you probably noticed that once we got to Metrocon, all of the Transformer coverage stopped. Because frankly, there really wasn't a lot. Aside from a couple artists in the Artist Alley, and most of which I will see again at TFCon, and because my budget was kind of limited here, I decided to wait until TFCon in order to support them. So I'll do that in October. Now, as far as everything else goes, there was only one booth that had anything Transformers. It was mostly just normal retail figures, like recent ones. They had one of those black Trypticons I mentioned, but they wanted $260, even though I know they got it at Ross for $100. So nothing impressive or special Transformer-wise. Frankly, I was surprised to see one booth full of them, but nothing really special there. It's just mostly just normal retail figures with convention dealer room markup. What I did find, however, which stunned me, I found a metal card bot. Of all things to find in the Metrocon dealer room, a metal card bot. I had a passing thought maybe someone got some of the Korean import stuff. maybe like along with all of this other like K-pop stuff I'm seeing, or all these random model kits from all over the place. Figure maybe someone had something. This is from the US release, no less. And like it was like Voyager Transformer price. Even in a dealer room, it was the price of a Voyager Transformer. And for that, it is far more robust in construction. It has lots of ratchet joints to it, way better painted, heavier, bigger. I don't know what Hasbro is doing. I don't know what Cardbot is doing to be this affordable. But it was a really big surprise, and it was a really, really nice toy to like cap off the whole dealer room for the year. Like I said, there was a lot of stuff, but just to be frank, like because of all the because of like hotels and rentals to make this trip happen, my bank account was going like woo 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 the whole time, so I had to skip a lot of things just because I didn't quite know where my money was. But I don't think it's a bad haul. I had fun. I got most of everything. There's not a whole lot that I can think of, or I went like, why didn't I go back and get that? But that's the haul for the vacation. That's everything that came home with me that I can remember. I might have missed one or two things, but that is it. And that is basically the entire rundown of Metrocon and my Florida vacation. Next week, you will, if all goes well, I don't know, because I've been like wall to wall schedule wise between just catching up and being exhausted. Because it was a fun weekend. It's a fun week away, but it was a working vacation last weekend. So hopefully next week you see the whole Metrocon experience, like the whole highlight video. That's the plan at least. So if you want more Metrocon coverage, that is on the way. But for everyone else, thank you very much for watching. I will see you next time. Hello everyone, I am Astral Agent Magnetar, a tokusatsu VTuber, and I am streaming 4 times a week over on Twitch, Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday afternoons, and a special late night one on late Friday/early Saturday. So come watch, come hang out, and let's make an impact together.